But now it's time to move on to some of our one of our discussion topics of the week. And I didn't intend for this because Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers movie is like, this beautiful tale of, kindness and, compassion and all that stuff. But now I'm going to talk about something that really angered me. This past week, the trailer for the new Invisible Man movie dropped, starring Elizabeth Moss, who most people will know from Mad Men and The Handmaid's Tale. But I'm not really going to talk about the trailer. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the trailer to get to the subject that I want to talk about, because something has got me very, very fired up. And we're going to get into it. So quick rundown of the trailer before we get into the main topic here. So the movie stars Elizabeth Moss, and she's in an extremely abusive relationship with this man, and she's able to escape her abusive boyfriend with some help from a friend. After she escapes him, she learns soon after that he apparently committed suicide. And in his will, he left her $5 million, which she will inherit as long as she can prove that she is mentally stable, which, she appears to be. But as the trailer goes on, Elizabeth's character starts to realize that she feels like she's not alone in her own home, and weird things start happening around her. And as the trailer goes on, it's made clear that the abusive boyfriend is not dead. He's actually somehow faked his death and made himself invisible, and he is terrorizing her in the pursuit to make everyone think she is crazy, so she won't inherit the $5 million and possibly be committed to some kind of psych ward. And everyone around her is kind of like, holy crap, what's happened to her? She's, So that's the basic rundown of the trailer. That's basically what happens. I was on Twitter, and a friend posted this article from comicbookresource.com, a website that I go to quite often. I follow for news, mostly about superhero and comic book stuff. Justice League, Marvel, whatever, Hellboy, whatever's coming up. And every once in a while I find, usually what I don't like about the site is every once in a while they have one of those articles like what this celebrity could look at as this superhero. And, there's some kind of fan art of Zac Efron as Nightwing, for instance, when I was like, do we need to make a whole article about this? I could just picture Zac Efron, picture Nightwing, slap them together. I got it. But this particular article is about the Invisible Woman trailer that I want to go over. And I read it, and I was just furious after reading it. This article is full of bullshit. So we're going to go down this article and go over it. So the writer of this article, whose name is Ronaldo Matadine, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because I'm about to crap all over this guy. And I've never done a discussion part like this where I'm kind of countering somebody, a rebuttal you could call it. So this is a new territory for me. So let's get into this. So he brings up the controversy that was around the Joker film recently. And once again, I really enjoyed the Joker movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. I don't believe any of the controversy that the movie was going to inspire violence. And as far as I know, no violence has happened in response to this. No, except for a video where someone was dressed up as Joker and they smash on their skateboard and hit themselves in the nuts. Besides that, that's the only violence I'm aware of. As I said before a couple months ago, the only people that I give any sympathy to were the families of the Aurora shooting victims, as I can understand how their perspective is. But beyond them, I'm just like, no, this movie is not going to inspire people to go on shooting rampages. But anyway, Ronaldo writes in this article after he reiterates the controversy that happened on the Joker movie. However, while the pitchforks come out for that movie even before it premiered, one upcoming film is already proving to be more toxic and dangerous if its first trailer is any indication. Universal's The Invisible Man reboot. Now, keep in mind, at the time when I read this article, I'd already seen the trailer. So when I read that, I'm like, how is this trailer presenting this movie that's already more toxic and dangerous? And here's the thing, he even admits that people were getting pissy about Joker before it came out, and now he's getting pissy about this movie before. Can we, listen, trailers are advertisements. If you're going to judge a got let's watch the movie first. Because if Joker was crap and it was inciting violence, I would have called it out on it. But you got to wait till you watch the movie, so anyway. Let's continue. So anyway, Ronaldo continues in the article saying, that's pretty, after talking about the trailer, that's pretty messed up, not to mention misogynistic for a couple reasons. This is a movie about controlling a woman and gaslighting her to the point where she thinks she's insane. It is very tone deaf given the male-dominated and at times chauvinistic society we live in, where some men do seem to think they have ownership over women's bodies. And he goes on to bring up the business and entertainment industry, how they take advantage of women, which I don't agree with. Sex sells, and the entertainment industry has taken advantage of women at time. And then he goes on, so why should a man like Adrian, the abusive boyfriend, and Cecilia, Elizabeth Moss's character, why should Adrian own Cecilia's mind? It's another distasteful plot of a man wanting to have power over an innocent woman. So let's get into this. Once again, I saw the trailer, and I urge everyone to watch the trailer too. Especially, since we're talking about the subject, I urge you to watch the trailer so you can come up with your own judgments and read the article. Which every article that every news or discussion we have, I post a link to it on the PO Visit Facebook and Twitter, so you can find it there. Here's the thing, there are men in this world that are misogynistic. They act like they own women. And they're a lot of times abusers, and it is unfortunate. I have friends who've been through that shit, and I want to fucking take these guys' heads off. But I think Ronaldo is missing the point of what the movie's trying to get across. It's just like the people who are having controversy, who said there was controversy over the Joker film, saying the Joker is pro right wing, the Joker movie is pro incels and all this stuff, and but it wasn't. The Joker, they made it very clear from the early part of the film that Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker, was already a disturbed man who was trying to be a good person, but the society just kept giving him reasons not to be. And this trailer I don't see how he thinks the trailer seems to be promoting the character of Adrian, aka the Invisible Man. He seems to think that the movie is giving people like that a voice, giving some value to their words or their mindset. So it's you realize the guy is the bad guy in the film, right? You realize that's what's going on here. He's not. He's supposed to be. You're supposed to be disgusted by his actions terrorizing this woman. He seems to be missing that. Anyway, so let's go on. I'll read some more parts of the article. We're not going to go over the whole article, just pieces here and there. Not to mention Cecilia having to fight being deemed crazy by the authorities in order to pocket the inheritance means she's basically selling her mind and safety for the sake of a bank account. That's a very toxic spin, and it's anti-feminist because men shouldn't be looking at women like possessions in this manner. Yeah, no fucking dumb man should be looking like... never look at a woman like she's your possession, all right? If you're with somebody, you love them, you're in a relationship, you respect them, you treat them, you treat that woman like a queen, or the opposite. If you're if you're with a man or with whatever gender, sexual identity, sexual orientation, whatever identity your partner is, you treat them like they're fucking royalty. And in return, they should treat you the same way. But it's just, once again, he seems to not understand that the movie is not promoting men like this. He's the monster of the film. Keep in mind that this was supposed to be a very different film, that it was supposed to be part of the dark universe that was being built up. The movie with Tom Hanks, The Mummy, which was bombed, and they had a whole slate of these other monster movies they were playing. The Invisible Man was one of the films. Things got changed after The Mummy bombed, and they're pretty much, I think as far as I know, they've given up on the dark universe as a connected monster movie universe. So once again, the Invisible Man is a monster. He is part of the list of Universal's classic movie monsters. Right there was Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, creature from the Black Lagoon. He's not a hero. He's not a protagonist, which was another problem that people seemed to get confused when it came to the Joker. The Joker, aka Arthur Fleck, was the protagonist of his film. But people seem to confuse protagonist with hero. A hero and a protagonist aren't always the same thing. The protagonist of any story is just the lead character that we are following on their journey. We're following them as they go through this journey. That's a protagonist. The protagonist doesn't always have to be a hero. Other examples would be Kill Bill, Beatrix Kiddo, a.k.a. The Bride. I love the first Kill Bill movie. I even like the second one. I love them both. But here's the thing. Beatrix Kiddo isn't a hero. Remember, they established in those movies that she was one of the top international assassins. She loves killing people. She loves getting paid to kill people. She's not a hero, but she is our protagonist. Being a protagonist, being a hero aren't the same thing. And he just seems to be confusing these two, and it just infuriates me. And saying that the movie's anti-feminist, I mean, I usually don't get into this subject, but the movie, things like this happen in real life, ladies and gentlemen. Women get caught in abusive relationships with men. And I'm not talking shit. I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit on men, because I am one, but I acknowledge that there's horrible pieces of shit out there. And that's what some of these abusers do. They gaslight, as he mentions, uses the words, they gaslight. They're like, I didn't hit her. I never touched her. She's talking crazy. She's got emotional problems. She's taking some medication. They make up bullshit to make everyone think that the woman is crazy and that he's actually a nice guy. Stuff like this happens. That's what this movie's about. But instead of him talking to people and convincing them with his charm and wit that he's actually a nice guy and she's the one's crazy, we're using fantastical storytelling where he's invisible and making her look like it's just. Ronaldo, what are you talking about, man? This is just this fucking bullshit. It is bullshit. Anyway, I'll read this last few parts here. Okay. Towards the end of the article, he says, that said, the concept of the Invisible Man has always been problematic, most notably in the movie Hollow Man from 2000, starring Kevin Bacon. I remember that film. The character stalked victims, even committing sexual assault. So why should a man who wants to subjugate a woman and make her his mental slave not be treated with the same disdain in this day and age's more politically correct times? Who's saying we're not treating this guy with disdain? I mean, the few moments in the trailer where we see him when he's not invisible, he act like a raging fucking bull, like, come back to me, like, where are you going? Like, did you watch the same trailer? Or did somebody give you some weird edit of it? It's just, he's not put in the best lights, ironically, but you can't, light doesn't shine. Anyway, he's the bad guy. No one is making this guy out to be like he's misunderstood or whatever. It's just like, I'm so fucking confused and irritated by this article. It's just like, are journalists nowadays really that hungry for drama and that they're just going to make up something? It's like, he's totally misrepresenting this trailer. It pisses me off. It really does. Anyway, last thing from his article that I'll point out is that Universal's not just being disrespectful to the female gender, but to those who struggle with mental health on the whole. Well, now we're bringing the mental health, like, dude, you're full of shit, okay? Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm done with comicbookresearch.com, but if I'm in an article and I see it's written by Ronaldo Matadine, I ain't gonna read that fucking article. So if you see Ronaldo Matadine, if you see one of his articles on Comic Book Resource or any other website, I'm not sure if he works for, if he's freelances or whatever, but this guy's full of shit. I just don't know how else to put it. This is total bullcrap. It's like he's totally ignoring reality here. I see it's just for obviously a clickbait article, obviously, right? But it is so pathetic. It is so pathetic. It infuriated me. Oh God. Anyway, let's get on to some better news. All right, let's get. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that clip. We live stream every Thursday night on our Twitch channel, and of course, check us out on the River's Edge Online Radio Network.